Hello everyone, this is James Brown, Godfather of your soul, and today I'm playing Grounded, a game I have gotten very interested in. It has been one of my favorites as a relaxing, good for your soul type of game. And I've been playing this for probably about 2 weeks now, since probably a couple days after the beta came out. And I've been enjoying it so much. So what you're going to see here is about a week or so, actually 2 weeks, of what I've been gathering over my time of playing Grounded. And these are the tips, tricks, and things I've learned over this time playing this amazing game. I'm looking forward to everything that's about to come out for this game and absolutely love it. I've been challenged with this game recently, and it's brought me all sorts of joy. I can't wait to get into it with you guys, and I appreciate any kind of love and respect that you give me for producing content for this game, and I hope that you subscribe and join in. I hope to be making more and more videos soon. So, let's get into my grounded content. Let's see. Now I have to choose stress level manage session. Let's stick with medium. Who am I gonna choose? I don't really.
Hey, nice to meet you. The name's Max.
I'll go with Max. Why not?
What? Damn. Where am I? Are those roots? Nah.
So what you're seeing here is my first adventure into Grounded.
TV shows.
So far, this was
Really
my
elaborate,
basis
realistic
of
prank
understanding. I watched maybe a couple YouTube videos, but I had no clue what I was truly expecting
show.
compared to
Whoa,
what I
the
had
size of
seen.
that ant.
So the first thing I start doing
I'm just glad it's not very
is
squishy.
collecting stuff. I steal something from the ant that's pushing around a piece of meat, and then I start climbing up a log that's hanging on the baseball, and I'm taking sap from it. Why? Because I know I'm about to have to craft all sorts of ridiculous things, and it's going to take a lot of things to make.
Gonna need an agent, a publicist, a sports car. Imagine what it looked like when that thing landed. Boom! It's a speedy little green corn pup.
So the first thing I want to get started with talking about is gliders. Now, gliders was something I did not expect when I first came into this game. I did not understand and I did not realize because most of the first few videos I watched did not even talk about gliders. It was not a discussion. So, what I've learned with gliders is they come from, of course, dandelions. And they're the dandelion tuft that come off of them, and they end up coming off whether or not you smack a dandelion and bring it down. So, I learned you can just walk around and pick up a dandelion tuft and not have to use an axe and take one down. Another thing I learned is if when you have a dandelion tuft and you're dropping from a tall height, don't worry about hitting it as soon as you start falling. Wait till you're sure you're about to hit the ground. Now, this is kind of rough if you're in an area like the bushes where there's blueberries and you're harvesting or some sort of thing like that. But if you're on the area where I'm building my new base on the rocks on the far corner of the map here, you're fine. Jump off the side of the rocks, and when you know you're about to hit the ground about a second beforehand, you can hit that button and you will minimize the hang time that your dandelion tuft is allowed to hang. Because a lot of people say, I don't know how long my dandelion tuft has. Well, it's up there at the top of your screen. You just have to look. Hang time. Your hang time tells you everything you need to know about your descent into your area. And all you got to do is hit it just a few seconds before you hit the ground, and you're good to go. Next thing I want to talk about is in this area. Okay, right here, this A-frame rock you're about to see, that is a area where a wolf spider will always be nested. Unless you kill them, they will be gone for a couple days, but they always come back. A wolf spider is usually nested underneath where I'm making my base right now, and I'm okay with that. I've only seen the wolf spider crawl up this rock maybe a couple times, and as you see when I jump off this rock, I'm using that same technique of hitting my glider right before I touch the ground, and it saves a whole lot of hang time on my glider. So it's become a staple of something I do is when I know I'm about to take a really hard fall, I will always check my glider. Now, one thing I did as I was fighting this wolf spider that was underneath me, I basically baited him to this side and was shooting arrows at him until I locked him in between these two rocks and finally was able to finish him off just by shooting him with my standard bow. This was before I even had the insect bow. So he came to this edge of the rocks and I was able to actually hit him a couple times, and then when he backed up against this rock, I was able to just fire at him until I really didn't have to worry about it. He was dead. And then of course flew down, came over, and I picked up all the loot. Picked up my arrows, picked up all the spider parts, and that's how I got rid of this spider. And honestly, now that I've realized that he's always there, I don't really mind it anymore. He's almost like my guard dog. One thing I didn't realize, and that is stupid of me that you're going to witness right here in my video, is that I didn't realize I could cross the boundaries of outside the map. So I was going off the edge of this side of this cliff and going down to the bottom, breaking up some grass planks, coming up here and building. I didn't realize that I could pass the out of boundaries under construction area and just go get what I needed, come back and build what I wanted. Instead, I spent the first, I don't know, 2 hours of building this structure going back and forth up this rock because I was too stupid to realize I could go over there. I didn't even try. Didn't even try. Just decided I couldn't. But this did teach me glider mechanics. It let me get used to jumping off a structure, catching ground, and going back up. The thing I also realized is I probably should have had ant armor a long time ago. And I had never crafted ant armor before this recording. So, let's move on to the next point. Now the next thing I want to point out is where I'm building my base, weed stems and dandelions are not common. So I have to travel close to where you find stink bugs to go grab some weed stems, cut down some dandelions, cut down whatever I can to get some weed stems so I can keep building my base. As much as I don't want to build with weed stems and I'd love to build everything out of grass planks, it's just not possible. So I run over to another area close to where the stink bugs are, grab some weed stems, and then I built this bridge to get across the deep water areas of this swampy land next to where I'm building. And it helps me run from that area of the map across the deep waters and bring my weed stems to an area where I can build. Because if you haven't tried this already, when you're carrying a group of weed stems or planks on your shoulder and you try to cross deep waters, you will drop it. And trying to get your stuff after you dropped it in deep water is pretty difficult. It's annoying, honestly. It's just really obnoxious and annoying and tedious. So I try to avoid that, and I just build a bridge across the areas where I know I might fall too deep and lose all my stuff I'm carrying. So something I've noticed about building on this rock that I'm building on is that there's a lantern up above me, and every time the sun comes up and the lantern turns off, all the gnats come into my base. Now, 9 times out of 10, gnats are annoying. And you don't want a whole group of 12 gnats surrounding you. But a lot of the time that you have a decent weapon you can swing quickly, killing gnats like this is great. You get a whole bunch of food, enough food to last you for the rest of the day if you cook it on a spit. Now, it may go bad. You can always put it on a jerky station if you want to, which I haven't built yet, but when I'm ready to, I will. But right now, I'm living off mushrooms and dew and juice boxes, which is pretty easy to do at this point in the game. But at the same point, my base has this advantage of getting gnats almost every morning, and I kind of like that. Alright, the last thing I'd like to show everybody is what I've done so far since I've begun this game. You've seen my tips and tricks I've learned, and that has actually been a recording over the past 3 weeks now. And this is what I've made in the past week since you saw last. I've made torches, I have built the second floor, and I have a beginning of a base that I'm working on. Eventually, I want to expand a balcony both ways, and I would also like to put a roof, of course, finish these windows, and also build a balcony out here. And this actually will probably eventually be my permanent base, my main base, where I will probably stay and keep most of my stuff once I build more things than my basic camp I have built. That's the last thing I want to tell you guys, is that, ooh, well that was not good, but at least now I can show you this. Ooh, he's gone? That means he's out. Oh god, where did you come from? Why did you pop out of a wall? That's not, oh. You know, now I'm kind of ashamed of myself. That is just terrible. Is it me, or did he just pop up out of nowhere? I looked for him. I really tried. I'm gonna take some damage too, but there. That's what he's supposed to do. See, I got cheated at this. This is what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to be a little bitch and sit here and crouch down. I can walk up to him about this close.
What you got now?
He's not going to do anything. If I'd have known, I could have got my mint mallet out and smacked him. But no, he pops out of a wall somewhere over here, and I'm just gonna die. Oh well. I got everything in my backpack. That's the way it goes. Sometimes your guard spider down there, he'll kill you. Especially if you come in this house. So either way, this is what I've built so far. This is my house. And let me get ready to show you a daytime version. Okay, now like I was saying before, the one thing you want to do is build a basic camp. Now a basic camp will consist of a place to sleep and use as a respawn station, something for food. I always like the mushroom garden, but I also station myself near this lantern, which gives me a lot of these annoying gnats to kill, as you saw earlier. Also, of course, gotta have my cooking station. I have a couple basic small storage bins because this has just been a building site, and I haven't truly stayed here and held armor and weapons and things I've built here. But now I'm starting to move items from my base across the map at those red icons over there and moved them over here because this will probably be my new permanent base. Also, I did learn that this under construction line you can just walk past, and this is where I've been harvesting my grass planks to build. I I can get some plant fiber. I can hack away. I can bring grass down and use it. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy. And now I have ant armor, so I can actually hold 8. Now I know I didn't grab much, but just as a demonstration, I can run over and do that. And I've started building torches. I haven't fully tested out whether or not torches will eventually go out, but I'm using a couple of them as test torches to find out.
Get out of my airspace!
And of course, my least favorite thing about this part of the map is the fact that gnats will be basically all over you. Luckily enough, they don't cause enough damage, and they make great food resources, so they can just feed themselves. So, those are my tips and tricks. How to start building bases in opposite areas. Now, this has not been done in creative. This has all been done by hand, slowly, over time. And as obnoxious as it is, it feels so much better to do. Also, to give a... Oh, I forgot to equip my dandelion. Well, that's a lesson, kids. Always equip your armor in dandelion, because you will die. Which I did. But you will take note that I did not use a single platform or any kind of scaffolding. It is all just grass planks. And yeah, it may not be really worth everything, because you could just destroy it pretty easily. But as you see, I have a large platform coming out. Don't have any support, don't need it. And I'm gonna keep building and building until this beautiful house on a hill overlooks the yard. This is the point where I've made to make basically my most beautiful base. And this is where I'm going to continue my adventures in Grounded. And if you'd like me to keep updating you with more and more, comment, like it, do anything. This is my first video, and I'd love for somebody to join up and talk to me about it. I love this game. It's pretty interesting, and it keeps me on my toes. Maybe later I'll start showing my videos on how I deal with each insect, how I deal with certain things, and at the moment, as you can see, I'm looking into finding ant eggs and analyzing them. I gotta place a marker and collect some mites. Other than that, I hope to make my fortress look amazing. This is just the beginning. I hope to get a couple stories, quite a few platforms, expand, get a couple jump pads, multiple dew collectors, and turn this into one amazing base. So keep up with me here. It's James Brown, Godfather of your soul. Over and out.